Cell transport. How do molecules enter and leave cells? They can diffuse through the membrane, they can pass through protein channels without energy, or they can pass through protein channels with energy. The first one we'll talk about is diffusion. Diffusion is the process of molecules moving from high to low concentrations. You can see here those green dots represent solutes, which are just any kind of molecule. And they're moving from the left side where it's highly concentrated to the right side where it's less concentrated. This is known as passive transport because no energy is needed. The molecules simply move. Small, non-charged molecules can enter and leave cells using this method. Watch the little image on the left and see how the molecules are going to move from inside the cell, the bottom, to outside. Because there's a higher concentration on the bottom, those molecules are going to move from the bottom to the top, from high concentration to low concentration. Osmosis is a special type of diffusion that happens with water. Watch as the water molecules on the left side move across the selectively permeable membrane until there's an equal amount of water concentration on each side. So this shows over time, if we start with a bunch of molecules on the top and they slowly come to the inside of the cell, then eventually we'll have what we call equilibrium, where there's equal numbers of molecules on both sides, and then no more diffusion will happen. The molecules just stay like they are, and no channel is necessary. They just pass through the membrane. Facilitated diffusion is the next type. Sometimes molecules are either charged or they may be too large to enter. So these are some charged molecules like dissolved salt. And they can't just pass through the membrane. They need something called a protein channel, carrier proteins, to help them get through the membrane. This is also passive transport because the molecules still move from high to low concentration. However, now a protein channel is needed to assist the molecules moving in and out of the cell. It would work something like this. The third type is active transport. This is like passive transport because there's a protein channel, but now molecules are moving against concentration gradient. What does that mean? Molecules are trying to move from areas of low concentration to high. So you can see here that the molecules are trying to come into the cell even though there's a lot of molecules in the cell. This requires ATP, the energy of the cell. The energy is required to move the channel and drive the molecules from low to high concentration against the concentration gradient. This is the only one that is active transport. So our passive transport is diffusion, just moving through the membrane, facilitated diffusion using protein channel, but still moving from high to low concentration, and then finally active transport, which is just moving against concentration gradient, and it needs energy.